So, guys, welcome back. We're going to do a live walkthrough on what I was looking for on these trades here today. So, this is all live time. I would click the record button as something went as I entered a trade. And this is on my real account, and we're just doing low volume, low quantity here. So, I'll just kind of walk you through things, and I'll speed things up as I need to, but you can see here I have two different trades. This one was a failure and not an ideal entry. It's not what I was looking to do. I don't have the confirmation on when I click up here on, are you sure you want to do this? Or are you sure you want to do that? So I was trying to move the slide bar, hit the sell on accident, and it filled immediately, which is another reason why I keep things on quantity of one. Anyway, so went short here. Let me go back to this. So when I went into right here, I was just like, well, we're set up. So let me pick a spot, and this is where that trade becomes invalidated, and it was all the way up here, which was unfortunate. But anyway, so went short here, and we'll see what happens on this trade. But you see these green lines right here, and this green line right here, where it leads to these X's. So this is my stop loss since we went short, and this is my take profit. And it would be reverse on the longs. So as this candle's moving down, I'm moving my stop loss to capture profits. So I hovered over that one, and it was $10 per share. Had you gotten more shares, you would have made more than $10. So here we went long. I went long. We didn't. Y'all didn't do nothing. Psh, I don't know what I said. I went long here. I was looking for a bounce off these, off the EMA and the VWAP. We're on the 2-minute chart. And this was a little bit pretentious here because we just came out of this resistance zone I had drawn up. So not a very good thought process with how close this resistance zone was in regards to the VWAP and the EMA. I should have waited for it to come back either into the 50 EMA or this supply zone down here. Demand zone? I don't know. Support and resistance. One's one, one's the other. But now you see that we went long. These are red instead of green. So when they're green, we're going to be buying back our position because we're short. When they're red, we're going to be selling our position because we're long. So down at the bottom, you'll also see the volume split between the sellers and the buyers. So leading into this position I bought, that just adds confluence to not being a very good position to have gotten into. You'll see at the bottom, that red line, I am keeping a pretty tight stop there too, because I've realized in real time that I just entered a position that wasn't very good. So what we're doing now is looking at the potential for an area 2 bounce if it wants to continue pulling back and test a zone. When you trade micros, like this is the micro mini NASDAQ, but if it's this one, you need a point in order to cover your fees if you're on the free version. You still pretty much need a point if you're on the monthly version, which is $100 a month. The lifetime, you need half a point, or maybe it's 3/4 of a point to cover your fees for your entry and your exit. So at some point, you'll see where I move on one of my trades where I start moving the line up just above my entry arrow, and that'll be my break-even point if it decides to pull back into the arrow and stop me out. So what I've done with that red line is I moved it down to where I'm willing to risk to see where this trade becomes invalidated in my mind. If we break below that red line, then we broke through that potential resistance turn support and see if it can't. We don't want to sit through anything lower than that. And what we're looking at right there is you can see how small that volume was. It was a pathetic push for a bounce. So in my mind, I'm already thinking, well, this probably isn't going to end very well. Because that was a 2-minute candle with almost no volume on it. Moved my stop up. Now you see on the right side, while it's got that circle around my arrow, it does not hold. Yeah, so if the price came down and hit it while I'm holding it, it won't stop out. So it doesn't set that level until you release it. So I just have a bunch of indecision right there. It kind of acts like it wants to go, but it might need a little bit more time. Maybe it wants to, maybe it doesn't. So I decided to pull back instead of let it sit on top of the arrow and get me stopped out. So I moved it up right there. Now we're at break even. I'm 1 point above. I'm actually 2 points above. So I'm 2 points above. And you might see me here pull it up a little higher. So now we're going to increase our profit taking on it just a little bit. So what we're looking at is it sped up a little bit, so we don't got to watch everything in real time. So got it moved up, and then watch this candle. Came down, almost filled me. I mean, it's on the line. All right, so just pulled back, got filled, and look at it drop. Just came right down. So that's both the benefit and the downside to moving your stop loss or profits up. Because you don't know if you're getting stopped out early before the trade has a chance to move, or if you're getting stopped out for a reversal. But it stopped out near the top of my resistance line, and it also reversed there. Then it kept pushing down. So this one, I believe, pulls back and would have been a loss. So I was glad to take that profit because, like I said in the beginning of that trade, I didn't feel very comfortable taking it after I took it. Realized it wasn't in that great of a spot. So we just moved up, pushed through, and that was a dirty wick off that purple line. It came down and hit the 20 EMA and then bounced right off of it and made a new high. So it would have wicked me out and then put in a new high, which would have made me a little bit upset with myself on the whole trade setup. So another entry coming off the upper resistance, going short with a tight stop on it. The thesis was good, just didn't end up working out. It bounced pretty well off of the VWAP and EMA this time, so I got stopped out. But I moved my level to at least break even, so I didn't have to eat the fees on it. By the time I got stopped out there. And then my biggest trade of the day was this one coming up. So you see my entry on the green candle, the orange triangle. I shorted it up near its high, and it was right after that big red candle followed by two decent pops that brought us almost all the way back up. This is the M and Q, so it's the Qs, and the whole indices was just acting all foodasical. So took a short, held through this other candle. My point of invalidation was breaking into a new high. We didn't get there. So now you'll see me moving the two green lines as I'm keeping my profit loss and my stop loss pretty tight. Capture as much gains on it as possible. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully this helps anybody out. This was a live recording of the day. So we'll just see what happens. I'll try to make more of these so I can get better at them and you guys can see what I'm going through in real time. Anyway, that's what I got, guys. Thanks. Have a good evening.